How you feeling, baby?
I am feeling jolly. I am, I guess.
I was not expecting that word, but
I
okay.
decided to go with that word randomly.
Okay, Santa Claus.
Yeah, I love Christmas. All that to say, it's 3 years. We're celebrating
Oh, yeah.
3 years
Cheers.
living together. We did our cheers.
Kampai.
Kampai. We did our marriage in 2 parts during COVID. Part 1 was the civil marriage, and then part 2 was the full thing.
Yeah, so today
This is part 1,
today
October
is the
30th.
civil marriage. It's the one we got married in court. They made it quick. We wanted to start our lives together. We wanted to move out of our parents' house.
What is the first thing we did as soon as we got married? Where the hell did we go?
Treehouse.
We went to a tree house somewhere like an hour and a half from here because we're like, why not?
That was the first ever vlog we ever did.
Yes, and it was raining. We arrived at night. It was dark. We couldn't see shit. It was perfect. October 30th, like perfect for Halloween.
And then we thought we'd do travel vlogs for the rest of our lives, but that is not the case.
Yes,
Look
we're
at
doing
us
this
now.
instead. How does it feel to be married to Mark? 3 years.
Overall,
Oh God.
it feels great.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. It's better than what I expected.
Yeah. What did you expect? Like disgusting. Yeah. Say it.
Since I got pregnant, things have changed. I'm kidding.
Tell that to everyone. Same. It's better. It's much better than
Since
what I
you
expected.
got pregnant too, things have
No.
changed.
Since you got pregnant. No.
Asshole.
3 years with you has been amazing. We've been together 6 years and married 3 and living together 3. And honestly, personally, it's been greater than what I expected, but I expected it to be great to begin with. Because
Yeah.
I think when you know what you want and you have someone great who supports you, I don't think you expect weird surprises. Like, yes, there's challenges, but nothing like, whoa, like, what the fuck was that? Like, I don't know if some people can experience like a shock when you move in with a person, and you're always told, you just wait until you move in with the person. Nothing shocking, you know what I mean? I know you're impatient. I know that. I know you're picky.
And I knew you could handle my impatience.
Yeah.
There's some people, they don't like prepare mentally for the other person's limits or even like talk about it. I feel like
Right.
that's most couples, they don't prepare mentally for that type of stuff or even like express what they actually think. So it always surfaces as chaotic arguments and misunderstandings. And that's why and that, like, as soon as you move in together, that's just going to be accentuated and, you know.
Yeah. Although it's great to move in,
worse.
it's absolutely important to move in together because you get
Sure.
a more, you know, it could be the reality check you need, right? But I think moving in together or not, what is very important in a relationship isn't just self-awareness, but specifically emotional awareness.
Yeah.
Like, you need to be aware of what you feel and how that translates into the kind of behaviors or your reactions. Sometimes you have unconscious reactions and you realize it's because of something that you're stuck in.
Yeah.
You know, like a mental pattern you're stuck in or something you haven't healed or resolved. So, with that said,
let's start the podcast.
Yeah.
And the questions that we prepared.
No. I have a question for you.
Oh, you have a question for me?
Since of the questions we prepared.
Oh,
Of course,
right.
besides how's it been with me 3 years,
Okay.
what is the one thing you cannot stand about me?
From day one of getting married or since I got pregnant?
Sounds like there's 80. Since you got pregnant. It went from 80 to 160.
Well, recently has been your mouth sounds.
Lovely.
Like
Yes.
one you just did.
Like this one?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, let's let the public hear.
Now, I'm really pushing it now.
Yeah.
Listen, I just find myself eating peacefully in my little world, my innocent little world, and I just see eyes, a pair of eyes turned towards me, and just like in the most gentle threat I could ever experience. It's just looking at me gently, but
lucky.
saying, "Mark your mouth sounds. Mark your mouth sounds bothering me."
You're lucky
just,
that
like,
I
I hear,
express
like-
it simply that way. and not worse. Okay.
I don't know whether I should take that as a
thing?
threat.
What's one thing that bothered you about me?
Bothered or bothers continues to bother?
Okay, go ahead. Go. Bothers
Yes.
you a little bit. Go.
Your 30 comments when I drive. So there's this thing. She drives more often. She enjoys driving. I enjoy driving, but she likes to drive because she likes to drive her way. So when I drive, I receive dozens of comments.
So just let me drive. All right. That's it? That's the only thing?
You're awesome.
Everything else I'm perfect?
You're perfect.
You too.
I love you.
Me too. Shall we start with the actual questions? Shut up, will you? Okay. Okay. So, yes, we're very mature.
Random questions.
Random questions time.
Here we go.
If you could meet anyone in the world, in the past, from history books, whatever, who would it be and why?
My past reincarnation.
Okay, so we're gonna not go there.
Can you guys imagine? Like, I'm convinced I was in Japan. All right, you guys know this. I love Japan. I was a samurai. I'm sure.
Okay, if that was an
imagine
option,
meeting yourself in another life. Fuck, kind of, if that's even possible, or would create some kind of weird
I would have
rift.
said the same thing. Very smart, by the way. It's very clever.
Yeah, it just came to me now.
Yeah, but no, someone else. Someone from our
lifetime.
lifetime.
But it is someone else.
No, someone from.
What do you mean our lifetime? It is our lifetime.
No, not our lifetime. I mean, like history books. Someone like a figure, a historical figure, or anyone.
Maybe I was a historical figure.
Mark!
Fine. I would have to say Jesus. Because that was the most Christian thing that ever came out of my mouth.
Yes.
Jesus, Prophet Muhammad, Buddha. I'm interested in people who've left a enormous legacy. Teachers whose teachings, besides the institutional part of religion, which actually I would talk to them about that. But I'm very interested in great figures who've left an enormous impact, not just on the world, but on history.
But it has to be one person.
If I had to choose, I mean, I would say Jesus.
Okay. So mainly for the legacy part. That's
well, the legacy, and I respect the teachings. You know, again, not what the Roman Empire did after, and the Inquisition and all that shit, and colonization. And I'd be like, which I'm convinced he's not like, yeah, that was good. No, was talking about compassion and forgiveness. So yeah, I would love to have a conversation with Jesus Christ.
What would you want to ask him? That's deep. Is that personal?
What would I ask Jesus?
Is it personal?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
But that's like taking me. I'm just trying to sit with this. What would I ask Jesus? I don't think I would ask anything.
You just talk?
I would listen.
Would you talk about my comments while you drive, or
like how do I deal with this? And he would just stare at me smiling. He would say, I brought this to you because spiritual growth means overcoming challenges. That is why you are married. I'd be like, oh my God, I hate you. No. How do you walk on water?
Oh.
You said everything I do, you can do and more. So how do I walk on water?
I mean,
can I fly?
Have you watched Naruto? It's chakra.
So you're saying Jesus was a ninja? Oh my God, that makes total sense.
I feel like Jesus was just someone who mastered
ninjutsu.
People are gonna think we're blaspheming here.
Such blasphemy.
Such blasphemy.
How dare you, heretic, burn him on the stake. You know what question I'll ask him?
Imagine Jesus
be like, Jesus, I'm sure you smile, all right? Why do I never see portraits of you smiling?
He's like, ask the people who painted me, not. But yeah.
But honestly, if I take that aside, I would listen more, because I mean, like, I would consider this person a great person of wisdom. You know, whether Jesus, Buddha, again. So maybe I wouldn't say much. I would just sit. Sitting in the presence of someone like that who is, I would say, something.
Makes sense.
Is something powerful and beneficial to your soul.
Yeah. Nice. For me, Since you mentioned three figures, I want to mention at least because
Fine.
you kind of made me think of one figure in
Because it's hard to just choose one,
yeah,
right?
I
Like,
know, I
but
know.
fine, you know.
I was gonna say Joan of Arc
Okay.
because it's really interesting how in a patriarchal world back then you led a
At,
group,
mm.
a country, and made a
Against the British.
difference. Yeah, and made a difference. And unfortunately, again, they fucking fell for the stupid. You were led by demonic possession, and I don't know what, and they had to like burn
Or
her at stake.
schizophrenic. Like there's arguments
Yeah,
that she
stupid
made
reasons. At
because apparently
19,
she was visited by Saint Michael
she
and
said
another figure, I
my
think.
Saint two archangels, Michael, um, Al
Gabriel.
Gabriel, one of them, and there was a third.
Okay.
But it's really impressive, and I just want to like having a conversation with her and what led her. Like she was 17 at first. She
I
was
believe
17.
19.
She was 17 at first when
Okay.
she went to see the king and talked about her purpose and how she was visited and had divine guidance and all that. And at 19, she eventually led an army,
Hmm.
a revolution, I should say.
Which is regardless of whether you believe she did have divine
Guidance.
visitation or so, she still managed to
Yeah,
bring an army together as a teenager.
yeah, which is really, really impressive, and that's someone I would like to meet because that's a legacy she also left, and it's she's not talked about enough, which I find funny. Um,
So what is it? So you respect a young woman who's powerful
yes,
and leaves a strong legacy.
absolutely. It's inspiring, especially in a patriarchal world
Hmm.
that was worse in her time. Um, the second thing, and that you kind of like led me to think about that right now when you said Jesus is Mary Magdalene
Hmm.
because she's often referred in the Bible, and I believe she had a story to tell, to say, and add, or maybe her story is there somewhere and is hidden
Hiding in the
by
Vatican.
the Vatican. But yeah, I'd like to know her story because I feel like she was the closest to Jesus, and I don't know, there's a lot of hints that you see where she's there in the stories, in the pictures and portraits, like the Last Supper. A lot of people think that it's her next to Jesus because it looked more
According to Da
feminine.
Vinci's painting, yes.
Right. Which I just really find interesting. And Mary Magdalene would be something I'd like to hear. I wouldn't ask a question. I'd listen to her because I want to hear her story and I'm curious.
Hmm.
you know? Um, yeah.
Very interesting. Okay.
hmm
Next question.
Next question. Your turn. You ask me.
Let's see. If you could solve one global problem, what would it be and why?
Climate change? Actually, boy, I don't know.
So it's happening very fast. Yeah, the Earth isn't going anywhere, but we're gonna suffer the consequences, and our children.
Exactly.
So
So I would say climate change because it's the one that's coming fast. What about you?
it's hard, but you went big. You went macrocosmic. Maybe I would like if I had to choose these top three, climate change is definitely one of them. And it's not really just climate change; it's more like global warming
Mm,
and climate disasters.
right.
But that takes unified global action. Right
Yeah.
now, it's always my nation versus your nation. Humans need to come together as one planet first, okay? One humanity first.
Yeah.
That takes a different kind of mindset. But I think we are in the age where this can happen because of the internet and so on. Like, we are more globally connected. Um, so I would normally say that or world hunger and with it homelessness.
That would have been my second one.
But Palestine. Now, Palestine is the issue. Now, when I said macrocosmic versus microcosmic, because you went climate change versus like the big global issue,
Because you said global issue.
sure, but Palestine is a focal point of that global issue. Palestine is
Yeah.
connected to everything else. When Palestine is free, it's a chain reaction that liberates the rest.
Yeah.
Climate change is related to Palestine. Colonization and imperialism is connected to Palestine, right? Palestine is being destroyed, yet they still stand.
Mm-hmm.
It's currently suffering at the hands of imperialism and colonization by the rogue state of Israel, that is a proxy state of the United States empire.
Mm-hmm.
So the empire that is stretching its tentacles everywhere in the world, not giving a shit about the climate change and the environment, but about protecting its interests.
Yeah.
So if and when Palestine is liberated, it starts the chain reaction of ending the control of that empire, which means interests shift from personal, economic, and political interests to the interest of humanity and human rights.
I see it.
So Palestine, for me, is that focal point that triggers everything else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see it.
So when Palestine is free, we are not free. No one is free until Palestine is free.
Yeah.
That's why Greta Thunberg, who is to me, one of the biggest voices of climate change, is also a big voice for Palestine.
Well said. Well said, Mark Hashimus.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's my nickname to Mark.
Rita Maximus.
Mark Hashimus, because he's such a philosopher and knows a lot, and he's very well spoken. So I had to give him a philosophical name.
Thank you.
Mark Hashimus.
Mark Hashimus, Maximus.
All right.
Next question.
Next question. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Oh, that's a good one. I received a lot of good advice. None from you. No, I'm kidding. The biggest piece of advice is when I went to Palm Springs to a film festival. Because if anyone doesn't know, me and Rita we graduated in film studies, and our dream is to make movies. We're doing it in a way now through social media and by connecting with you awesome people.
Yeah.
Our dream is to make big movies, right? But when we have the budget and the connections and so on. There was a time where I thought in order to be able to make movies, I have to go the path of festivals. But that wasn't working. Because festivals, I learned even from people in festivals that you kind of need connections to begin with, right? Which I didn't have. Even if your short film might be good, and even then, it doesn't guarantee that you can create connections, but it doesn't guarantee that you explode from there.
Yeah.
So when there was this lady I met in Palm Springs. She had a crowdfunding website at the time. This was in 2017 from memory. Okay, so that was like 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me, Hollywood doesn't want you.
Mm-hmm.
She said, number 2, don't try to get into Hollywood. Don't try to have them discover you. They don't want you.
Yeah.
She said, do it yourself. And she has a crowdfunding community. So she said, do you have anything you're doing now? Like right now, there's social media. At the time, I wasn't super savvy with social media. I hated it. Kind of still do. Because I think everyone understands why. Because there's a toxic side to social media.
Yeah.
But there's the other side, which is the direct connection side with the community. Building your own community. She said, build your community. What is it you have that is unique to you that you can contribute? And then build your community from there. And then whatever your goals are, whether it's raising money for a movie or whatever, or networking even like that, you're doing it directly with the people who care about what it is you do.
Yeah.
So that was like in my head. I was like, and I've always been a believer of do it yourself.
Yeah.
And connect with, surround yourself with people who believe in you, and then do it yourself. Don't just try to aim for, the Hollywood stuff.
Yeah.
Do it yourself.
I feel like this woman was influenced to be there.
I think so
this
too.
Day and time to tell you this. So that it's
because the irony too is that in Palm Springs, it was Palm Springs Film Festival. My movie was not. It was a short film. It wasn't accepted in the sense where it got featured. But what they do there is all movies are accepted and put in the database of the festival.
Mm-hmm.
So all movies are there. So you can still go and connect, even if your movie is not being shown on the big screen.
Mm-hmm.
So that still gives you, which was a nice move from them. It's still an opportunity for you to connect. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go and learn. So I went, and that was the big thing that stayed with me. So when I came back, this is when I said, all right, what I need to do, I need to do myself. I need to build my community. So I started going more aggressive on social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and so on. And then I said, what is it that I have that is unique to me? It's my roots, my culture. So I connected with Lebanon.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I am. So I started sharing funny expressions, funny things we do in Lebanon, and that shit went viral. And I was like, "What was happening?" So that was a sign for me. Keep doing that. People were loving that I was sharing the culture, and whoever was like second, third generation were connecting. They're like, "Oh my god, that reminds me of my dad or my
Yeah.
grandma," and so on. So you were kind of having even also an impact. People were felt seen.
You were seeing the feedback you're
That's
receiving
it,
too.
yeah. And it felt relatable. So relatability is the biggest thing that I learned through that. So my community started building from there, right?
Yeah.
And then when you came in, your marketing skills and your social media understanding took this to another level, major, and we started doing that together. And this is where we are today. We're doing our own thing. We have our business. We have our projects,
Yeah.
and heading towards the big movie
Yeah.
stuff. So, long story short,
Mhm.
that was the
That's
advice.
awesome. I
You.
wouldn't say I'd had advice per se, but you could argue that you've kind of shown me also my strong points and my roots and what I should fight for, and I should always stick to what I love, which is what we're doing up until now. Not advice, more like you've shown me since I met you. And
Thank you. Me?
yeah, you. And I just worked my way there, you know? I could share a quote I love that's always stuck to me. Write your failures in sand, but write your blessings on stone. I love that quote. It's my favorite.
Solid.
Yeah.
Yes. Because failures are just lessons.
Yeah.
We fail all the time.
They're
We're always
lessons, but
learning.
they change. Is it your turn?
I believe so.
Go on.
How do you define success in life? Money, cash, hoes, money.
That's right. No, okay. Hose.
It's a song.
Where are you going with this, bitch?
It's the
Your
hose,
daughter's
the water,
right here.
the water hose,
Your daughter could hear you.
the water hose. You know, I'm hose.
Okay.
So how do you define success, Rita?
Honestly, build a life where you're doing what you love so you don't feel like you're working any day. I don't feel like I'm working every day because we do what we want and we do what we love. And it worked out for us and we earned it. We're growing it as well with the projects we keep adding, the family we're growing currently, and the community we're building on social media that is growing as well and receiving a lot of positive feedback and allowing us, just living in a world where we're allowed to express ourselves and in a fun way, and it's part of our job, for me, defines success in life.
So living a life that feels that is fulfilling to you. I'm doing what I love. This is who I am.
Yeah.
It feels true.
I love that.
What about you?
Definitely everything you said.
Hmm.
Because it doesn't matter if you have a lot of money, if you hate what you're doing and you're stressed out all the time, you're not there for your family, what does it matter? It's like often I feel success, people think money. You know, and
Yeah.
money is important. Okay, I get it. Money's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, you make $1 million, great, whatever. But if I add to that personally, success or not, success can be relative, right? Like I succeeded in lifting 100 pounds, great,
Mhm.
right? But I think awareness is a bigger success for me. Self-awareness. Self-awareness is something that's very important to me. Understanding who you are, why you think the way you think, questioning your own thoughts, because a lot of times your own thoughts can be just brainwashing, programming, conditioning, whether that means society, your parents, the world, whatever.
And then you don't feel like yourself.
Exactly. You're
Yeah.
living a life and a mind that isn't yours.
Yeah.
You're just a product of an environment that is telling you what you should be, but that's not matching with who you are.
Yeah.
propaganda style, you know? So self-awareness, emotional awareness. All of us have trauma in different ways, or just things that need healing or understanding. So if that's not resolved or in the process of being resolved, doesn't matter what you think success is, this will haunt you and follow you.
Yeah.
You'll have the biggest success. You'll feel like you have it all. You look great. You got money. You have it all, which is often like the archetype of the celebrity that has it all, right?
Yeah.
But then they have issues that you don't know about that are then revealed, you know, and it's a shock. Or they get divorced, or you hear of some crazy story
There's
of
always
domestic
something.
violence. You know what I mean?
There's always
It's like,
something.
what
Yeah.
was who cares if you had if your net worth is $100 million?
Yeah.
Now you like domestic violence is haunting you now, right?
Yeah.
Is in your record, so to speak. So emotional awareness, heal your wounds. And awareness also means for me being aware of the things you have. Awareness means, like, for example, everyone who's listening, all you guys, being aware of we would not be here without you, without your support.
Yeah.
I would not be who I am without you, wife of mine. Being aware in a way means recognizing the good things you have. So gratitude.
Yeah.
That's for me success.
Amen to that.
What's next?
If you could instantly master one skill, what would it be?
Language.
But you mastered that.
Every language. I haven't mastered every language. Just mastering
Every language in the world?
like being able to master language, meaning instantly. So whatever language, boom, I got it.
Oh, like a superpower where you can just learn a language like
Yeah,
that?
like whatever. Yeah, if I could
Okay.
master something instantly, language after language. Imagine speaking 100 languages, including dialects. Language is a bridge. If you understand everyone's language, you're building bridges with everyone.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
And beyond that, you start to understand people, because language is also culture. If you understand someone's language, you start to understand them. You connect with them, and
Yeah.
you bring that. Some languages and cultures have something that another doesn't have. So you bring something back and you contribute around.
Okay, if you had to choose one language you could master, which one? Right now.
I'm still trying to master Japanese. I will. Mark my words.
Okay.
I'm at like beginner / intermediate somewhere in there. Can't
Okay.
speak fluently yet.
Okay.
But yeah. You. What do
You.
I have? Ah,
You.
how was my voice?
You.
Excuse me. You. Much better.
Martial arts.
Just any martial arts?
Every martial art.
Oh, like Neo, you're
But-
programmed. I know Kung Fu. You're programmed
Everything.
instantly.
Because it grounds me. Like,
Nice.
I love it.
By the way, guys, she does Muay Thai and boxing.
But I'm not a pro.
She fucking
You're making
she
it
kicks
sound
ass.
like,
Like her roundhouses are devastating, and her hooks.
You're exaggerating.
No, her jabs and hooks, devastating. Do you guys know I told her to punch me on our early on in our
Yeah, true
relationship?
story.
Yep, I told her.
I said, "Are you
Punch me.
sure?" I'm like, "I don't want to punch you."
No.
He's like, "No, you have to."
I mean, not on my fucking face, but on my
Okay.
stomach.
On your stomach, still.
It was also to show off. I want you to feel my abs. I'm like, yeah. No, it was also to just. I want to see how strong you are.
And how did you feel?
You passed the test.
Oh,
You were strong.
that's
And I
it.
said, you will be married now. You will have the honor to marry
You
Mark.
will be married.
Yes.
Okay.
You shall be betrothed to Mark. No, I really respected. It was a solid technique.
Mhm.
Like you turn your hips properly. Good. I felt that. I was like, this woman is power. I marry.
Man, I miss punching a bag right now.
Pregnancy.
Pregnancy.
You
You're still. I'm
can.
allowed to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can,
because
but
you've done it.
I can go hard.
Yeah, we don't have we need space in our basement for that.
That's not the only reason. We also don't have a boxing stand, which
We need to
have the
get-
bag, but not the
Yes,
stand.
yes, just it's coming soon.
Okay. Yeah, martial arts. If I had to master one martial art, Wing Chun.
What is with you in Wing Chun?
Ever
She
since
watched
I watched
Ip
Ip
Man.
Man.
Okay, yeah.
And
I
also,
fucking-
Evan, you told me that it was created and invented by a woman.
yeah.
And
Her
it
name
was
was Wing Chun.
Yeah. Right. Cool. And it
She
was
short.
And she was short. And it's designed for close combat. And it's just so practical. I feel like every woman should learn Wing Chun. You know what I mean? For
Bruce Lee,
self-defense
Bruce Lee,
reasons.
part of his Jeet Kune Do, part of his fighting was inspired from
Yeah.
Wing Chun.
So that's probably like the next one I would want to learn after giving birth, of course. And when I put myself back into training, I'm going to definitely look into that.
Awesome.
Yeah. Who's asking the next question? You or me?
Uh,
You.
yeah. Yes. Yeah, my turn. What's one piece of technology you can't imagine living without?
Does a shower count?
Yeah, that's a very good one.
Yeah.
Like showers the way we have
Showers
now.
the way
'Cause
we
you
have
can
them
bathe,
now.
technically.
Yeah. I mean, you can bathe, yeah. Okay, so maybe that's not a good answer.
Actually, no, I actually find, because when we think tech, we think TV, phones, whatever,
Yeah.
computers. But that is a really good fucking reminder. Hot water.
Yeah. Hot water.
You said shower. I wanted to add to that hot water.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone has watched The Walking Dead, there's scenes where it's like they don't have hot water. And when they do, it's like, oh my God.
They don't have water.
Yeah.
In The Walking Dead.
But like as a technology, hot water, being able to heat water.
Yeah.
I don't mean like under the fire, but the way it is today.
Yeah.
Like that is important technology
And
that we just forget because it's so like common.
Cleanliness, like just hygiene, showers.
And there are people around the world who don't have, to this
Yeah.
day in 2024, they don't have access to that. Hence my point earlier when I would talk about world hunger, hygiene, access to water, fucking hell.
Have aliens come control the world already? It'll give us a better life.
I mean, as long as they have good intentions.
I mean,
Otherwise, it's War of the
who
Worlds.
these days have good intentions?
The American government?
Oh, yeah. They do.
Yeah, they're leaders of the free world.
Okay,
They're
what about you?
democracy.
What's that one piece of technology you can't live without, Mark?
AI.
AI? You can't live without AI?
You can, but the way the world is going today, it will be a very powerful part of our lives.
But you can live without AI.
Can you live without your phone?
That's not AI.
No, but 20 years ago, they would have laughed at you.
I
Like,
can
oh
live
my
without a
God,
phone.
you're addicted to your phone.
I can live without a phone.
Lies.
Of course.
Lies.
You can live without a phone.
I didn't mean survive. I meant, can you live comfortably without your phone, Rita? Can you live? No, our job, 50% at least of our job involves phone usage.
It depends of the context then, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, phones are important to it, Rita. So
All right.
phones is definitely up there.
You said my name twice now. When you say my name, it's serious.
Yeah.
Okay.
Phones, computers, the internet.
Yeah.
The internet, guys.
Yeah.
The internet. Oh my God, electricity.
Okay. Are you okay?
Oh my God, because one leads to the other,
I
right?
would say electricity would be next.
The internet,
Before
Rita.
AI.
Because I have this tremendous thirst for knowledge and connectivity with the world, right? So the internet shifted that power away from traditional corporate media to now, of course, it's not perfect, but now I would argue more democratic access to information, right? There's misinformation you got to be very careful of, but access to information in the palm of your hands. How powerful is that?
Okay, so let me ask you this, since you're talking about AI.
Yes.
How do you feel about the future of AI in our daily lives?
Transhumanism. Transhumanism.
That was a quick answer. Okay.
Transhumanism
You
is
thought
the
about
idea that we have to kind of connect with AI almost like physically and neurologically. Like we're part AI. Like almost like your phone or whatever is in your brain. Like to be otherwise forget it. As soon as you have super intelligence, forget it. Okay, here's what I actually think. Just like with any technology, you have the danger and then you have the benefit. The benefit is faster progress in our civilization than you've ever seen, ever. Faster than the radio, faster than television, faster than media and the internet. Like you saw how fast computers accelerated things and then how the internet did. But AI is going to do all that much faster.
Yeah.
So it's scary also because that can mean a lot of job loss. That's the danger part. So governments and the people have to adapt because that means, example.
But you think they will?
I think everything eventually does, but the smoothness or not smoothness is dependent on how quickly we adapt and how quickly governments care. Usually they don't, so it requires kind of a lot of unrest, civil unrest, for them to catch on.
Yeah.
Because corporations will see that they're making a lot more money. It could be like what, 80%, 90% net profit now, as opposed to 30 or 40, because
Yeah.
now almost everything's being done by machines. Great, but so that means they have more money. So you need something like an AI and robot tax, because if jobs are being lost, that needs to be at least mitigated by something like universal basic income.
Yeah.
If everybody has a universal basic income, which again requires us to think globally, it means that I don't have to worry about money anymore. I don't have to worry about a job. I have a basic minimum, which could also mean people have more time to pursue personal education, entrepreneurship, creativity, innovation. So that could actually bring a renaissance. That's the optimistic view.
That's the optimistic view. I feel
But-
you're looking at the pros of AI.
Yeah. I mentioned the danger, which is job loss and how that can cause.
I feel like there's going to be way more than that, like more cons.
That's one. I
gonna
mean,
come
the
with
other
it.
is super intelligence and bias with AI. So if they're getting super smart, but there's dangerous biases, then they're going to start, that can really destroy the world. I think the biggest one that we need to look at beyond all that, after AGI, artificial general intelligence, which is supposed to be like matching human intelligence, like they're basically like human,
Wow.
and then the super intelligence. If there's even something now that I recently saw, it's artificial empathy, right? Robots or AI having empathy, understanding human emotions and empathy specifically. That's important, because I see ultimately AI and robotics as the children of humanity, and because we're creating something that you could argue is going to be at the stage of consciousness.
But humanity is stupid.
And
I don't trust.
robots, I think, will check us to be like, you guys are dumb, but that's what the danger is.
But they can use it to their advantage.
Or if their program says what will save humanity or the earth, well, what is the problem? Humans. Therefore, to save the planet, you must destroy human. That's the danger part.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If their program leads them to a conclusion that humans are the problem, that's the danger. That was Ultron, basically, in Avengers.
Yeah.
But besides that, I think beyond everything I said, when robots and their AI reach a level that is very conscious and arguably sentient, you may have robots starting to demand rights. And the big question will be, do robots have rights?
Hey, I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to be quite
Yes,
empathetic
stay.
and
Yes.
very happy.
Be nice to your computer
Be
right now.
nice to all your AI devices.
Because they learn.
Yeah.
I mean, at
because
least
they
AI
learn.
learns, right? Maybe not your computer.
Okay.
But
Please don't be the percentage of what's dumb in humanity, and be on the good side.
don't bully robots.
Please.
If they're learning, this is what you're teaching them. Again, my philosophy is, this is a kind of a
We're repeating
philosophical
the same
question.
mistakes then.
Yeah. I mean, iRobot is kind of arguing that,
Yeah.
right? That if they have consciousness, if they're dreaming and so on, that means they're gaining a consciousness. So
But-
you don't want them to rebel and destroy us.
But then, do you really think that wouldn't happen? Like what happened in iRobot wouldn't happen in real life?
I think it can happen. That's why I think there are writers like Isaac Asimov, for example, who I think artists in the end, especially visionary artists or writers or filmmakers, they come in and give you stories kind of as a warning or kind of as a here's a scenario. If you want to avoid that, think about that. Think about this. Right? So of course it can happen. I think anything can happen. Right now we could have World War III. All right.
Exactly. We live in a world of division. And you want to
Okay.
bring AI? We're doomed.
Well, okay. So you're going for the pessimistic view. Carry on.
I did. That's it.
Well, how do
That's
you
my
feel about
point.
AI?
I think it's such a great tool and thing to have and use.
It's
to your
helping us in our
advantage.
business.
Exactly. We're using it for our work. But if you're going to have an idiot with stupid opinions talk about racism and hate and express themselves as like the problem, AI will see what the problem actually is, see that it's him, and see that it's therefore humanity, and eradicate us all.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. But of course, this is important to consider. But I don't want to go into the assumption that it will. You know what I mean? So can is different from will. Can this happen? Absolutely. Will it happen? Not necessarily. Depends how humanity shifts and adapts. I think the same is true of computers, internet, and social media, right? Because there's a lot of problem with social media. There's a rise in I think, I remember reading this, anxiety and depression, eating disorders. These are all made worse by social media that keeps pushing standards, right?
Yeah.
So that's the horrible side. But then you can't also ignore the very good side, which has it's enabled information to be accessible that it wouldn't have been in a time where news was only given to you by corporate media that has an agenda, which is to control information and therefore push propaganda at you and brainwashing to manufacture your consent, right? With social media, now information is more democratized in that sense. So I think it's the same idea again with AI. It's just that the scale is like so rapid that it's going to be very disruptive. So yes, we need to move fast. But I think life is
We need
such.
to evolve.
Yes. I think life is such that when there's huge pushes like that, we are forced to evolve.
Yeah.
Because when you have no choice, if it's an if or else, just like with climate change, when you start seeing it, it forces everyone. The world will be very different. It comes with a lot of conflict, but eventually we have to adapt. And I believe we do. Maybe I'll have a chip in my brain and I'll become like super intelligent like AI. I love how you're speechless.
I don't want to think about that now.
Shall we end with that, or is it?
We shall end with that and start a lightning round.
Oh yes, lightning round. Questions from our viewers and listeners.
Lovely community. So first thing, no es una pregunta, sois una pareja muy divertida. Salud y felicidades. Gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Oh, my Spanish is still good.
Yeah, good pronunciation.
Let me just translate. He said, it's not a question. You're a great pair. Very fun pair. Salutations and congratulations. Salutations.
Muchas gracias a ti por tus comentarios.
Yeah, show off your Spanish.
No,
That's
it's not
right.
perfect, but I can manage.
Oh, that's perfect.
Puedo hablar.
It was perfect
Puedo
in
comunicar.
Mexico.
What'd you say?
It was perfect in Mexico.
Yes.
And Costa
Very
Rica.
useful.
All right.
See the power of language?
What is it like being a Lebanese outside of Lebanon?
Right now, heart-wrenching
Yeah.
because of what's happening in Lebanon.
You know, also, I can't say that I know much about it because I was born and raised in Canada. And my mother is Lebanese and my dad is Syrian. So I can't, all I know is I know where my roots are from. And yeah, heart-wrenching because of what's happening right now. But I can't tell you what it's like because I've lived in Canada my whole life. I don't know exactly what my life would have been in Lebanon. Does that make
Right.
sense?
How has it been for you? Because what's inevitable is that you are kind of a mix of cultures. You got the root culture, which is Lebanon, Syria, Palestine, and then you have the Canadian one or North American culture. How does that feel for you? Because that gives you a perspective that someone who's purely
Like, what's
born
my
here-
identity? Like, is it do I have
Sure,
an
or how
identity
does it feel
crisis?
to you knowing that you have these two perspectives?
I feel like I'm both.
Right.
You know, if someone asks me what nationality you are, I'll say Canadian first.
Okay.
The second would be like, yeah, but where are you from? I'm like, oh, well, my parents. My mom is from Lebanon. My dad's from Syria. Grandparents from Palestine. And I really feel comfortable with both identities. I've
Right.
never had really an identity crisis where I'm like, I don't know where I belong or what am I. I was just always comfortable being both.
Did you have the mother culture pretty strong in the household?
Yeah.
Okay, so that gave you a nice anchor.
Yeah. We were a very cultural family that kept our values alive and
So culturally and
All of that.
you know, in your blood, you feel very connected
yeah,
to your roots.
especially because I've been I think 3 times in Lebanon and
Yeah.
so I get a nice sense of where we're from.
Hmm.
Okay, next question. Which place do you want to visit next?
Spain.
Yeah.
That's our next
Yeah.
destination.
So
Queremos
anywhere
ir
in
a
Europe.
España.
Yeah, anywhere in Europe. Maybe with Alina.
Yes.
Hopefully September 2025. But
Yes,
yeah,
we have a
Spain.
date already, guys. We're already planning.
yeah, we're already planning. I love traveling. What do you
Yeah.
want?
I love. I mean, I play guitar a little bit. I'm nowhere near being a pro, but I learned flamenco, like a bit of flamenco. So I love southern Spain too. I feel connected with that in a way.
Marco.
So, sí, me llamo Juan José Luis Antonio de la Vega. No,
But you can call me.
but you can call me Steve. Yes,
I love it. Plan on having more kids? Start with one for now. All right. And then we'll see if we plan on having more kids.
We have said, I think
I've said 2 pregnancies max.
Yeah. Like example, now we're having a lovely little girl coming.
Yeah.
Maybe a boy. But if it ends up being a girl, that's awesome too.
Yeah.
But I would say probably no more than 2 kids.
Yeah.
If it ends up being twins, I don't know.
I always used to say I wanted 3 kids, but I'm comfortable with 2 now.
Okay.
It's really not.
So definitely no more than 3.
Yeah.
I've
Definitely
been
no
there
more
too,
than
yeah.
2 pregnancies. That's all I can say. All right. Favorite thing about each other.
Your eyes,
Your smile.
your nose,
Oh,
your eyebrows,
that's a new one. Oh,
Your
so
hair.
basically everything.
your teeth,
Okay, but you said eyes first.
your elbows, your toes,
Okay, enough. Making me blush here.
the strength of your character. That is why I married you.
Everything about you. I love it. Okay, next question. Last one. Okay. I let you answer this on my behalf, and I'll answer that one on your behalf.
Okay, I'm nervous.
Which anime character resembles you guys most? So I'll tell you who you resemble most.
So you're gonna tell me who you think I? Oh,
Yes. You're a mix of Goku and a bit of Vegeta.
interesting. I thought you'd draw on another anime, but interesting. Yeah. So I'm Vegito. That's so perfect. That is literally how I would kind of see myself. A bit of both.
Yeah. Like you definitely have Goku's goofiness,
Yeah.
and his resilience and his love for caring about humanity.
And his friends.
Yeah, and his friends and family, and he really focuses on what matters. And you have Vegeta's firmness. I
And
would say.
pride.
And pride, yeah.
So I'm basically a Saiyan, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Was that what you were going to say?
Almost. I was gonna say maybe like somewhere between Goku and Zoro from One Piece, in between. But Zoro, you could argue, has some things in common.
With Vegeta.
Yeah, he's moody and
Also,
and
Zoro's an alcoholic, and you're not.
I am not. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now.
So I'm Vegito or Gogeta. Yes.
Yeah.
Tyson, if you're listening, this is for you.
Okay, now, who do I resemble the most? Or have a bit of her traits?
Tsunade.
I knew you were
From
going to say
Naruto.
that.
So she's recently. I've been needing to watch Naruto forever. But we got into it. We're binge watching it. I love it. Fucking awesome. And yes, Tsunade.
Yeah.
Why? Because Tsunade is a fucking badass. She's
Yeah.
really tough and strong. She
She has a temper.
Yeah, she's hard. She's hard-headed, not hard-headed.
Hard-headed.
Yes, but also
And
very
hard-headed.
Yes, and very close to her heart too.
Mm-hmm.
I think that summarizes you pretty well.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I think she's also definitely one of the most badass anime female figures in all of our anime shows we've watched. Another one that would be kind of
Kaiju
a badass.
number
I'm not
8?
like in Kaiju number 8.
Yeah, but
What's
she's
her
more
name?
low key. You don't
I
have her
forgot.
personality.
She's very low key, but
yeah.
she has a badass.
She's very badass. Yeah, but
Completely forgot her name.
the one who has a massive gun there.
Yeah, the massive gun, hair tied.
Yeah.
Damn.
But you don't have her personality.
I don't have a personality. No. Yeah, Tsunade is more like me. And that concludes our lightning round.
Fantastic.
Phantasmical.
Yes.
Is that a word?
Phantasmical. Yes. I invented that years ago and you decided to officialize it in the Mark Rita dictionary.
Yeah. Okay, guys.
That's it for today. If you have any questions or comments or insults, please throw it in here. Do not forget, please let us know what you think. All those questions that we've thrown at each other, give us your perspective. I want to know what you think about AI. Do it.
And leave it in our form submission on riseprojects.com/hardheaded. That's rise.
RYZE.
projects.com/hardheaded. And you can listen to us on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcast, and our website.
Awesome.
Awesome possum.
Bye.